Now, being the wife of the governor of a state like Lagos requires huge efforts, lots of sacrifices. I'm trying to imagine what all that will entail. Mrs. Abimbola Fashola tells us, well, my colleague here, Ogechuku Osi, got up close and personal with a mother of two, where she revealed her style and her personal life.
Dame Emanuela Abimbola Fashola, a wife, a mother, and a humanitarian, was born on the 6th of April 1965 into the Ojo Ibadan family of Ibadan, Oyo State. Mrs. Fashola, who is also partly Urobo, Onwianlaja to be precise, is a distinguished alumnus of the Lagoon Secretarial College, Lagos. She has worked at the British Council for 19 years at various positions before she resigned her appointment in 2006 to support her husband, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babatunde Fashola. Her amiable, calm and ever-smiling personality has endeared her to a lot of people, and that was evident when she warmly welcomed us into her home, looking all simple as usual in Ankara. She will be 50 in a couple of weeks, and she opened up to us about her style, achievement, marriage, and the challenges of being the wife of Governor Babatunde Fashola.
Let's go back 8 years ago when you took over the responsibility as the wife of the Governor of Lagos State. So far, what has changed? What has been the greatest achievement in terms of being the First Lady of Lagos State?
Going back 7, 8 years now, what has changed? I'm trying to see what has changed, but I can't really pinpoint what really has changed. What I know is that I've been myself, and I've been doing those things I love to do, which is supporting people, being there to give people succor when they need it, encouraging people to be their best and to be able to fulfill their potentials. And then supporting the youth for them to realize their calling and key into their purpose in life.
We went further to find out how ready she was taking up the responsibility of being the wife of the governor of a state like Lagos.
I was a bit scared because coming from a private atmosphere and everything one was doing had to do with you and your immediate family and your community and all that. So bringing in the whole of Lagos into your life, you know, was strange to me. But I guess things I had done in the past had prepared me a little bit for the challenges that I would encounter on this journey. But on the other hand, having to meet a big crowd, and then now I'm not speaking to the youth anymore. I'm speaking to elderly people, those who are older than me, those who are my grandparents, those who are younger than me. You know, so you're speaking to a variety of people, and it's just God that has taken me this far.
Although she says she was initially scared of the responsibilities that comes with the office, which she says she was quick to adopt to, Mrs. Fashola did not fail to tell us that being the wife of the governor did not change who she is.
I hear so many stories that, oh, she's going to change, oh, she's going to start to do this, she's going to start to do this. And I thank God up until today, those who have known me have always been the ones fighting my cases for me. Because they will tell them, you don't know her. If you really know her, this is who she is and she will not change. And I thank God for that strength. I thank God for the family support as well. Because if not for family support and friends who have always been there to say, just be yourself. Nobody you won't change because of anybody. And I always encourage people to do that as well.
Being married to somebody like the governor who is a workaholic, I don't know, how do you cope? How do you cope with the governor? Because every time the governor is on the news, he's doing this, he's doing that. How do you cope with him?
Well, I guess before we started this journey, the deal was that this is the calling now, and this is what we need to do. So I have to support as the wife and the mother of the house, and that the children too will play their parts. So every one of us had keyed in to this is what we are going into, and we just pray that God would lead us through it. I think the only thing there is that you don't have that access that much.
Okay.
You know, how many hours you get to speak to yourself. It may even be a few hours in the day. It may even be a few minutes. But what I have learned is that even if it's a minute, let it be quality. So that what you have to discuss would most probably have to be things that are very important, and you need an answer immediately, and you get your answer. So you are not beating around the bush, because my husband is somebody who is very meticulous as well, even in the house. I'm used to it, and if I need to get anything from him and I can't see him, I have to write.
Are you serious?
Yes, I have to write. Most times he will tell you, put it in writing. Abimbola, just put it in writing. Once I see it, I will not forget. So I'm used to that, and if anybody is telling me, oh, tell your husband, I say, just put it in writing. I'll hand it over to him. So he loves you writing things down for him so that it doesn't skip his mind once he sees that.
So should I say now that you can't wait for May 29 to come so that you have your life back?
I wish we were done.
Are you serious?
I wish we were done. I wish we were done, because I've missed my home. I want my home back.
Are you serious?
I really want my home back.
But again, 8 years, this is the life you've known. What are you going to miss by the time your husband's tenure comes to an end, May 29th? What are you going to miss being the wife of the Lagos State Governor?
I'm not so sure I'm going to miss anything, really. Because I'm too glad it's over.
You know, a lot of people find it hard to believe that.
I don't think I'm going to miss anything. Because I remember that initially when we started, if I had to go back home to Surulere, I always tell the staff here, oh, I'm going to Sanity. This is Insanity, so I'm going to Sanity. Let me go back home. I'm always too happy to go back home. And it's as if I'm free and nobody is really gagging me and all that, you know. But I don't know. I don't, closing my eyes to think, I don't think I'll miss anything.
You know, the things that comes with the office, you're not going to miss all that?
There's nothing that comes with the office except work.
Are you serious?
Work without pay.
Okay.
Because you can imagine I've been working 19 years before, earning my own living. And for 8 years now, I had to hold on for my husband to fulfill his own dreams.
Yeah.
Her husband, a Muslim, and she, a Roman Catholic. I was tempted to ask how they've been able to make their marriage work.
When this journey started, I guess the only person who kicked against it is the person who shouldn't have kicked against it, which was my late father, who said, oh, you're going to marry a Muslim. And this is a Christian man who is polygamous. So really,
Okay.
how can you tie that up? And then we got married in the church, the Catholic church. There wasn't any problem. That's who I am. That's where you take me from. And that was done. But ever since then, my husband respects my religion. I respect his own religion. There's no trouble whatsoever in the room. He has his part of his own that he prays. I have my own altar there with my crucifix and my rosary and everything. Okay. And everyone is minding their own business. When it's time to pray, when we want to do family prayer, we pray. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ. He prays in Allah's name. And the children understand all that. My children are baptized. And they go to church. When he wants them to go to mosque with him, they go to mosque with him. They are not cursing in there. They are praying. So for those who are using religion to give us the divide, it's just a way of manipulating us through religion. You know?
Now, let me now come back to, you know, as the First Lady of Lagos, do you still cook for your husband?
That's one passion I have. I love to cook. So if there's something I miss most, and I'm going to cherish once we're out of it, that's cooking.
Cooking for your husband?
Because before now, nobody could cook for my husband. I had to do the cooking myself. I was the one that was cooking and all. It was only when we came in here that we had to cook and all that. He doesn't play with his food.
Oh, really?
He doesn't play with his food. He doesn't play. Once it's time to eat, he would eat. But he doesn't eat late at night. Okay. So once it's after 4, after 5, you won't find him eating solid. You won't find him eating solid. He's able to manage. I can't. He fights me every time he comes in and he finds me eating 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. And I say, please, do your own, I do my own. I need to eat. I have not eaten since morning. I need. You know how to manage yourself like that. I can't manage. I must eat because I'm doing a lot of things, you know, energy thing and all. So I need to refuel and all. But I love to cook, and I would continue to cook. It's one passion I have, and I love to cook personally.
In a few weeks, precisely the 6th of April, she will clock the enviable age of 50 and will sort to know how she hopes to celebrate.
Well, what we're going to have is going to be an open house thing. And I know so many people have been calling my friends, calling my members of staff to say that, what's Madame doing for her birthday and all that. And truly speaking, the message I have is that just have an open house. And anyone who wants to give me anything can just monetize it for me, because I want to continue the charity programs that I am doing. And that's it.
In fashion and style department, Mrs. Fashola says simplicity does it for her.
Abimbola Fashola is someone who just loves comfortability, you know. And then most times, depending on the function I'm going to, determines what I put on and how. And then as a woman, really, sometimes it's your spirit, the way the spirit flows. Sometimes you want to wear something and the thing will be telling you, no, that's not it. Put on this thing, you know. So it's comfortability and the function.
We rounded off our conversation with Mrs. Fashola, telling us what she wants to be remembered for when her husband's tenure ends on May 29th, 2015.
What I, Abimbola Fashola, would like to be remembered for is that while my husband was the governor of the state, Lagos State, that I was able to put smiles on the faces who needed them, to support those who needed my assistance, and that for everyone who came to me for one thing or the other, now I'm not talking financially, but for moral support, for spiritual support and all, I was able to be there for them.